So recently, one of the most disgusting Roblox YouTubers on the platform right now, known as Nyvalk, has been openly harassing and attacking popular YouTubers such as Stake, attempting to defame him as a to thousands of people online. In his video, he was seen openly maligning Stake as a possible offender, which is completely disgusting not just from the allegation alone, but also from the fact that he did all this the day before Christmas. And what's worse is that this isn't the first time Nyvalk has done this. Just a couple days ago, Nyvalk openly made false claims that Padgod is some kind of and just a couple months prior to that, he accused many other YouTubers, including myself, of heinous crimes, falsely labeling everyone as Now, the reason Nyvalk has recently attempted to completely ruin Stake's image by over-exaggerating allegations against him is to deflect away from the fact that he himself is a horrible person. I want to make it abundantly clear that Nyvalk himself has doxed minors before, attempted to encourage his friends to DDoS minors, which is a crime, and even made disgusting comments to another YouTuber named WinterXLeven in a group chat where he allegedly knew that a 9-year-old was present in, therefore directly making comments in environments where there are children considerably younger than himself, which is extremely ironic considering what he's claiming about other people. Now, Nyvalk until now has managed to get away with his actions by victimizing himself, playing the I'm a minor card, and by continuously making dozens of clickbait and false videos. But today, he will finally be called out for not only slandering Stake and degrading his reputation over lies, but for being a horrible person himself. Nyvalk should not be trusted, and he certainly does not deserve the platform he accumulated. So please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you agree that the slander that Nyvalk has made against Padgod and Stake is disgusting, and please share this video around to spread the truth so more people can be made aware of Nyvalk's disgusting actions. Now, recently, Nyvalk was seen on his community tab attempting to hype up his video on Stake for, of course, views and attention. He initially claimed that he had evidence that one of Roblox's biggest streamers is a borderline offender, and then shortly after followed up by stating that this person might be a offender in their state, which is an absolutely vile claim to make. Now, a couple of hours later, he of course drops his extremely defamatory video on Stake, attempting to malign him as a in the thumbnail, while spinning the fact that apparently there are new allegations against him, which is completely untrue, by the way. It is important to note that Nyvalk was also seen claiming that Padgod was a over something that was completely untrue as well, showing how disgusting Nyvalk truly is.
So streamer Stake has recently been hit with a couple of new allegations that could make him or even worse. The situation is genuinely disgusting on Stake's part.
Now, at the very start of the video, Nyvalk immediately smears Stake as a and even shows a ChatGPT excerpt on screen attempting to insinuate that Stake would be placed on a offender registry with absolutely no evidence provided whatsoever. Nyvalk then also attempts to show a meme pushing the idea that Stake purposely wanted to expose to children and that he got off to it, showing that he isn't taking the situation with any level of maturity whatsoever. Now, many of you may be wondering, what did Stake do to warrant this level of disgusting defamation? Well, 3 years ago, Stake wore a shirt that had the name of a certain corn website on it. Sure, it was a massive mistake and it was irresponsible for him to have done that, but very clearly it was only done as a joke, attempting to elicit a reaction and get clip farm for views at the time. This wasn't anything inherently whatsoever. Stake wasn't doing this with any malicious intent, and to make an over-exaggerated claim like for something like this hurts actual victims of in the process, because people like Nyvalk are watering down serious situations and maliciously using these heavily loaded accusations to harass people he clearly doesn't like. Also, it is odd how Nyvalk claims that these are new allegations when he himself said on his community post that this happened 3 years ago, and the fact that Stake himself has already addressed the situation and took accountability. Nyvalk is not only trying to reintroduce old drama to get views and attention, but he is also being extremely malicious when it comes to covering it. Nyvalk is not only attempting to insult and attack Stake fans, but he also maligns them as infidels.
The pretty weird shirt on that says the name of this inappropriate site, and Stake is aware that his fans are extremely young and stupid, because just look at these comments on my other video about him. Genuine infidels, man.
What is even more pathetic is that Nyvalk once again attempts to use ChatGPT as an actual valid source of information and uses this to claim that Stake promoted to kids.
Regardless, how is this? Well, in a few ways. First of all, he is an adult who is directly promoting a linking websites to kids. I asked ChatGPT and they said that this is legally considered promoting to kids.
Now I find this disgusting because this isn't the first time Nyvalk has weaponized AI with fictitious prompts to lie and slander someone he doesn't like. A couple months ago, Nyvalk had used ChatGPT to spin Parlo as a for the dupe situation by completely lying and claiming that he knew there were red flags that dupe was 12 when this is not true and Parlo had never said this. Nyvalk would also be a hypocrite for calling out Stake as he reveals the name of this website in his own video on 2 separate occasions. Which, if we're following Nyvalk's logic here, it would be him promoting that to his viewer base.
Now, shouldn't have to get into all the reasons why this is wrong, but basically, this can get his child audience hooked to bad stuff at a very young age, and there is a good chance that some of them are hooked now because of him.
What is even more vile is the fact that Nyvalk makes a completely unsubstantiated claim that Stake could have gotten kids hooked on corn content to once again insinuate that he is a To no one's shock, Nyvalk shows no evidence for this heavily charged accusation except for one single ChatGPT screenshot. And again, Nyvalk would be extremely hypocritical for saying this. You see, while presenting himself as someone who calls out and bad actors, Nyvalk in private has shown himself to be no better than the people he has called out. There are numerous screenshots of Nyvalk having openly and made vile comments towards a Roblox YouTuber named WinterXLaven, with people who were present in these group chats expressing how uncomfortable they were from his comments. Now, while Nyvalk will claim that these are all just jokes, he will never admit that he made these comments in a group chat that allegedly had a 9-year-old present in at the time, with him even acknowledging this. With the evidence presented that Nyvalk at the age of 13 made disgusting comments in a group chat where he knew there were other children considerably younger than himself in, and yet wasn't dissuaded from continuing. I find it ironic that he attempts to slander people like myself, Stake, and PatGod, yet here he is engaging in far more problematic behavior. And if you thought this was bad, it only continues to get worse. Nyvalk was seen openly sharing IP addresses and doxing other minors that he had vendettas against, in hopes that he could get his enemies compromised by sharing their personal information. He was even seen as well encouraging his friends to DDoS minors, which would be him being complicit in a crime. Now, if we circle back to Nyvalk's horrible video, he decides to share Stake's response to the situation, with Stake mentioning how sorry he is for what happened, how he's taken steps to improve and not make the same mistakes, and how this happened literally 3 years ago.
What he's talking about happened 3 years ago. I was a much smaller YouTuber, basically, I wore a on my stream for 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Literally 3 seconds. I wore a shirt. Was it stupid? Yeah, incredibly stupid. I'll be first to say that. Should I have been wearing that in front of my audience that probably consists of a lot of kids? Yeah, I probably should not have done that. Really stupid of me. But I just want to say, I learned my lesson. This was 3 years ago, and people had brought this up before, and I've talked about it before, but it's never brought this viral. So I just wanted to clarify, guys, this was 3 years ago, for 3 seconds. And, I've been streaming for 2 times a day for the past 3 or 4 years of my life. And I've been grinding, bro. I've been really grinding, and it just makes me sad to see that, a lot of people are just trying to completely destroy me for something that I did that was 3 seconds long 3 years ago. And I also want to say, since about 100K sub, I've been trying to swear and not be kid friendly, because I don't want a kid audience. That's what I've been trying to work for since the start of my streaming career, is to try to get away from that. And, but yeah, it was a dumb mistake. So stupid of me. I was obviously not purposely trying to expose kids, as that video makes it sound. It was just a dumb thing that I did without thinking, 3 years ago for 3 seconds. That's all I wanted to say, guys. Don't still hate me. I get it. A lot of people hate me, but yeah, just want to clarify that.
Nyvalk, in response, then decides to make one of the most pathetic comparisons I have ever seen, attempting to claim that just because it's 3 years ago doesn't change anything, as if a criminal did a crime 3 years ago, they're still legally responsible. It is extremely obvious what Nyvalk is attempting to do with this comparison. He's basically attempting to push the idea that Stake is a criminal for such a menial situation as this.
Stake, if you were truly sorry, then you wouldn't be trying to downplay it by saying it was 3 years ago. Also still a huge YouTuber with a lot of subscribers. Just because a criminal commits a crime 3 years ago, doesn't mean they won't be arrested.
And if Nyvalk's awful video couldn't get any worse, he waits until the very end of his video to claim that he doesn't think that Stake is a creep, just a weirdo, which makes no sense because he has spent the past few months on his channel actively pushing the idea that Stake is a and his defender. His title literally calls Stake, and this isn't the only time he's actually defamed Stake. Only 3 months ago, he had made yet another video attempting to malign him as a in his thumbnail with the text, "She was 15." This was done maliciously to make it look like Stake had a 15-year-old victim that when this was not the case at all. Nyvalk intentionally misconstrued the situation to do with the drama between Anabe and Stake and provided no context for his thumbnail to package it as a expose-orientated video when it had nothing to do with that.
Anyways, I don't think Stake is a pre, but he is 100% a weirdo for this. Anyways, bye guys.
In Nyvalk's video, he actually attempts to accuse Stake of yet another abhorrent claim, that he was a minor, all because he made Try Not to Laugh videos reacting to AI slop meme TikToks of the Squid Game doll. Essentially, Nyvalk completely and maliciously stretches the situation and claims that since the doll, which is a literal inanimate prop object for a Netflix show, resembled a child, even though it's non-sentient, 9 feet tall model, and made in plastic, Stake has somehow now it for his own sick satisfaction.
We now should discuss these Try Not to Laugh video Stake is making with this certain Squid Game character. In this one you can see she's clearly with bikini wear on, and in this one, she has her bare out. So it should be known that the Squid Game doll is clearly depicted as a child, and it was even voiced by a 10-year-old at the time. There is no doubt it's meant to be a kid. Why is Stake sexualizing a kid for some extra clicks?
Again, this is just Nyvalk completely overstretching claims, and it's made even worse with the fact that Nyvalk shows a screenshot of his video of laws with the text under it being, "Oh, I don't want to insinuate anything from this." Like, dude, it's extremely clear that you are. Why else would you have put this in your video, desperately attempting to spin this guy's...
It seems really disgusting to me. And even if it's a doll, it's still supposed to resemble a child. Stake do better, as this is really sickening.
Now, with Nyvalk's malicious harassment against popular YouTubers doesn't just stop with Pat God and Stake. In a now unlisted video, he even attempted to smear my name with lies as well. I also find it insane that he silently privated this video, which is his way of subtly conceding that he was wrong, yet he offered no public apology to me whatsoever on his channel for openly trying to spin me as a to thousands of people. What I find disgusting was that in his horrible video on me, he attempts to victimize Banana Roblox, an objectively disgusting and a morally bankrupt person who openly worked with a doxing group named Zone to harass and obtain the personal information of a 9-year-old, and this wouldn't even be the first time Nyvalk has openly defended disgusting people as this. Nyvalk has also defended someone who had illicit content named Paymentary and attempted to victimize them in the process.
In 2023, when Gwamgo was 16 years old, he decided to send to a literal child. How old was this child? 11 years old. 11-year-old should never see this type of content, and Gwamgo showed it to them, which is illegal and absolutely horrible.
In this video, as well as the description and the comments section, Nyvalk spins me as an evil criminal who should be locked away. He followed up by accusing me of having sent to Banana Roblox in 2023 when I was 16 and he was apparently 11. Now, this is completely untrue. Of course, though, Nyvalk shows no evidence that Banana is actually 11 other than his testimony, which means nothing considering the fact that he has consistently lied about his age and the fact that he is a chronic liar. In actuality, Banana Roblox was 15 at the time in 2023, just a few months under me. And Nyvalk even leaves out the context for why I posted this image. First of all, it was sufficiently spoiled, which means the image was put behind a blur while it was posted. It was not posted uncensored. Second of all, the image were actually Discord messages of Banana Roblox having sent content to a 12-year-old when he was 14. I had sent a screenshot of these chat logs to Banana Roblox to confront him about his problematic actions. Nyvalk, however, crops all the fundamental context out of the situation, lies about Banana Roblox's age, and does this all not only to victimize this horrible person, but to spin me as some kind of horrible person. Now, before we move on, I actually just want to add some extra information on the Banana Roblox situation because it's been about 3 years since I spoke about this guy. He recently reached out to me on Twitter on an account called, well, I'm not going to say the name because he's openly advertising is Little Tays. And for many of you who don't know, Little Tay recently turned 18, but at the time when he was advertising this, she was still 17. Now, at this point, Banana Roblox is openly advertising on Twitter. And when he reached out to me on this Twitter account, first of all, I asked for proof that this was actually him. He ended up confirming later on that through his Discord account that it actually was him. Now, this guy was begging for a deal, trying to say that he's changed, but he's a changed man now and he deserves a second chance. Now, obviously, based off of the Twitter account, we could already tell that this guy hasn't changed, but I decided to just play some games with him, and we went over to Discord. Now, in Discord, as you could see on the recording right now, this guy was saying saying, I just want to make maybe a deal with that video on me. I asked him, what deal? And he said, maybe do something for you in order for you to remove the video because I'm really trying to change my ways and become a better person and not be that immature kid anymore. I could try to get more info on Nyvalk. Ironic, actually, that we're speaking about Nyvalk on this video. Now, anyways, I ended up confronting him about some recent allegations from 2024 where he was doxing and harassing some kid named Jakey, which he didn't end up responding to that. What ended up happening instead was, he went over to Twitter, and what he started doing, he started posting a face that he believed to be mine. He started messaging me on Discord afterwards saying, have fun when the cease and desist comes out, posted my face on there, what he believes to be my face at the very least, and said, I do free Robux now. I don't care. Expose me. So you know what, Banana Roblox, I will. On screen right now are all your current active YouTube channels where you scam your audience. To the people watching this video, do with that information what you want. Anyways, I feel like I've been talking about Banana Roblox for a little too long. Nyvalk had even attempted to malign Parlo as a months ago, silently took down all of his videos without offering a public apology for it, and then when I criticized Parlo for his recent situation, Nyvalk jumped in on the trend and used it to victimize himself with lies, and it's absolutely disgusting. Parlo may have done wrong, but Nyvalk again maliciously twists the situation and spins it as if Parlo is some kind of on his title and thumbnail. It's completely deliberate and he knows exactly what he's doing. Nyvalk was never the victim in this situation, and it is undeniable that Parlo was right about it. Nyvalk is just one example of many horrible people who use the Parlo situation to try to deflect from what they did themselves. And keep in mind, everything I have covered in this video is just the tip of the iceberg. If Nyvalk attempts to make a video deflecting the situation or lies in a drastic attempt to dodge taking accountability, I will follow up and respond, showing more proof of his disgusting actions and lies. Someone like Nyvalk does not deserve a platform, and it is worrying seeing that 44,000 people are subscribed to him and tens of thousands of people believe what he says because he is a chronic liar who's only here to benefit himself, and what he did to Stake in the process is absolutely vile and inconsiderate. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe so this video can reach out to more people and so everyone could see that Stake is being harassed and attacked over lies and that Nyvalk is an absolute monster. Again, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.